Alright, now how the hell? Excellent connection. Wow. Copy video. That's where I have to fucking go to get the thing that I need? This sucks. Okay, well now I know how to set that up. Notified humans. We do that, but before we do that, stats for nerds. Copy these things. Connect. Oh, name. What's up? Hello. How you doing? I haven't even linked the stream to anyone yet. You're here. New pinned chat. Why is this showing up here? I don't care. You can now pin a message at the top of your live. Click any message to pin it. How do I stop this? Why is this doing this? Oh. That was an actual thing I could click in XSplit. That was weird. Don't understand that at all. Alright. Now let's actually send this out to people. We'll put it there. We will put it there. We will... Where else can I put it? Sure, I'll put it in there. And, I guess I'll put it in there as well. Alright. And Bloob reacted with the boy, as I expected. Thank you, Aseers. Very cool. Paper is overburning. Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? Speaking of which, buddy, how about, here's a deal for you, buddy. My mic seems quiet? Okay, I could fix that. How's this? I can turn it up a little more if I need to. I have the window open to fix it. How loud we are. That's what I want to know. Still a bit quiet? Okay. Let's try... I can't give exact numbers here because it's a fucking slider that looks like a volume bar. I'm at 4 volume bars in XSplit. How's that? How are we doing? That's good. Okay. Cool. I guess I'll wait a couple more minutes for a couple more people to get in here. I'm engineer, I got a wrench. Yeah, that you did. That you did. Oh, this is gonna be so fucking weird. I hate using this new, I liked the old YouTube live studio, whatever it's called, better. It was a lot simpler. Maybe it's just I'm not used to this, but it's just like should have done some test. I mean, you can do them while you're watching this. You don't really have to see any of the tests on screen. You really don't even need any of the visuals for this because I'm probably going to be reading everything out loud. There's no visuals really. You could literally put this on in the background if you wanted. Well, this particular one, I should say. We have a lot. There's so many. There's so fucking many of these. This is gonna be very interesting. I've not done a stream like this. All it's ever been is gaming. But now, instead of being the gaming, we're gonna be the gamer. How long would it take to do all of them? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's what we're gonna find out. Because that's exactly what we're doing. Ideally. No one has ever done a stream like this. Which Harry Potter character are you? That's fine. See, yeah, we are going to be taking as many of these as possible. Ideally, all of them. In order. Or some of them I might be like, I'll come back to this, like this one right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, or maybe you can only see the thing being highlighted. This one, I'm thinking I might want to save for a little later. We'll save that for a little later once we get comfortable doing this. These extra contentious ones. If I was in Harry Potter, my name would be Parchment. You can see the mouse. Excellent. That makes things easier. Clap. Drink some water here. So, well, we got 2 minutes left before we hit a nice round number on the time. How are y'all doing? How many of y'all took some of these tests besides those that already said that they did? I know Muddy did. I saw a couple people when I made the initial announcement a couple days ago that had taken some of these and posted their results. I'm very curious. Debating whether I should put on music in the background. I feel like since there's going to be a lot of me talking, it might not be necessary, but we'll see. Playing some Portal lately, new map. Muddy got 100% gay. Excellent. I guess that's what I expected. Playing a lot of, well, not publicly. I will say that I have been making several new tests, but they are not public at the moment. And I'll leave it at that. In fact, Mike in particular, I might even ask for your help on something related to that, but that's not for a long while from now. Zoom eyes? Yes. Yes, indeed. I am moving into my dad's apartment in a couple of days. That will be interesting. Always happy to help. Thank you. I hope it stays that way when the stream is over, because this is an opinion-based stream. You have linked a Discord attachment. I see. I'll take a look at that in a moment, but we've hit 7. It doesn't say exactly how many people are in chat because I have that covered up by the window here, but that doesn't matter. So, obviously, as I already said, the idea with this stream... Wait, fun story. The ex-girlfriend of a friend of mine forced him to take a sexuality test. The result was that he was 100% asexual. I haven't moved yet. I'm in the process. Like, I have some of my stuff packed up. And I have a plan for what other things I need to pack up and when. But anyway. So yeah. As I already said, this stream is I'm going to try to take as many of these tests as possible and I guess talk about some things. This is going to be very interesting. Let's see how long I can go telling the full truth. Oh, fuck it. Alright, so this is the first one, the psychosis test. This test. So, well, actually, before I even do that, apparently the thing about this site in particular, I don't know how I stumbled on it. I just found it completely by accident doing something else. Apparently, most or all these tests are based on science. But given that there's some in there that are like, what Harry Potter character are you? I'm a little skeptical, but we'll see how this goes. Attention, this test provides information on psychosis symptoms for educational purposes only. Okay. Information is provided as it should not be construed to constitute professional services or warranties of any kind. For more, please consult our terms of service. I understand. We should continue. Okay. 50 questions. Off to a great start. Professional Portal 2 player takes on the hardest tests in the world. The psychosis spectrum encompasses a large range of psychotic symptoms, all pointing to the presence of disorders such as delusional disorder, schizotypical personality disorder, schizophrenia, and schizoactive disorder. However, there is considerable variation in the type and severity of the symptoms. This test combines the insights of several prior efforts, research psychosis, blah, 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 combining things. Where do you fall on the spectrum? We'll see. I know I fall somewhere on some spectrum. I don't know about this one. Let's see. I tend to suddenly pause when I'm talking and then start talking and thinking about something else. I think I did a little bit of that already during the stream. I guess that's an agree. I don't really like how this is set up. This is pretty much how like most of these are set up from just I just did a little test run of a couple of these and most of them were just this weird slider. I don't exactly like that, but it's the best we can do. Some of them, it's better than some of these ones where they're literally just multiple choice questions with oddly specific answers. And it's just like you can tell exactly which way it's going to lean you on the test. Gonna be here a while. Yeah, we're gonna be here a while. Others tell me that I tend to say the same thing over and over. I can't really relate. I'm not entirely. I'll leave that at neutral. I get so anxious about things that I experience heart palpitations, chest tightness, or racing thoughts. I do get a lot of racing thoughts, but not always because of anxiety. I just have a lot of racing thoughts. I guess I'll leave that at neutral. It's hard to follow my associations or lines of thought when I'm speaking. I mean, I do fumble over my words a lot, so I guess that's an agree. There are times when I do not leave my home for days on end. I mean, I am pretty, do kind of stay in my room a lot. It's not that I stay at home for several days straight. I do go out and do things. But I guess I'll leave that at neutral for now. I can't disagree. Already in the agree section. That's everyone right now. I guess, well, no, like, even then, I guess no, let's go back. I'm guessing what it's implying is, like, I think it's geared more towards people that literally, like, they don't even leave to get groceries or some shit. Like, they are actually holed up at home for days and days and days on end. Super hard. Although I guess, yeah, with COVID, that's a little not entirely accurate. I believe that there are people out there who can control what I think and feel. It seems like it's implying that's like mind control or some shit. I mean, technically, yes, there are people that can control what you think and feel, but not through some weird science fiction or magic bullshit. It's just psychology. But given what I think this test is what I think this is implying, I'm just going to leave it at neutral. Obama and his hypnosis. Some think there's periods don't leave the house for literal weeks. Oh no. I hear voices or sounds that no one else can hear. I mean, my hearing's fucked sometimes, but I don't have audio. What is the word? Not delusions, although that does describe it. Fuck, what is the word? I don't remember the word. Someone will probably put in chat. There are times when others cannot understand why I have suddenly become very inactive or paralyzed. What? I don't even know what that one's talking about. The government has been spying on me. I mean, government's that's really not even a conspiracy theory that we're being spied on, that the whole country's spied on. There's people that actively admit to it, but on with me in particular, they're not just going to be spying on me just taking a shit on the toilet, you know? That's not what's going on. I disagree. Not a full disagree, but a disagree. I see things that others can't see. It's not illusion, it's not delusion, it's another thing. What is the word? I can't remember. It's like, it's one of those tip of my tongue type of things. Hallucination. I don't have auditory hallucinations. I don't have visual hallucinations either. So that's a disagree. Others say that I lose myself in unnecessary and excessive details when trying to explain things to them. Imagine being the guy watching people on the toilet. Imagine being that guy. You would either have to be very new to the job, or you have to have been in that job for a while. There's no in between. Lose myself unnecessary details. I guess sometime, again, fumble over my words a lot. Sometimes I over explain. I'd love to, God. I make up my own words or phrases which are difficult for them to understand. Not really. I mean, like, I guess on rare occasions I'll make up a word or a phrase for comedic effect, but I'm not just pulling words out of my ass because my brain is on the fritz. I fumble and bumble. Others have told me that they could not understand things that I have written or said. I guess it's a neutral. People who are talking about me and or following me around. I don't think I'm a targeted individual. That's a disagree. This is a 1-5 scale, not a 1-3. I know how to super disagree. I've been doing that on some of these. I just haven't been doing it on all of them. I sometimes find myself unexpectedly doing or saying things. I mean, sometimes when I'm just like, when no one is around to see me, I'll just like, I don't know, I'll just do something a little funny to entertain myself. But it's not like, I don't just do just weird shit in front of people for no reason. Like, maybe I'll do something funny, quirky to make them laugh, but not just out of nowhere. I guess that's a neutral. Just a central boy. Remember, on the psychosis test right now. I don't know how well that's going to hold on these other tests. I go through long periods where the things or activities I normally enjoy offer me no pleasure at all. That sounds like depression. And I also agree. When I'm talking, it is difficult for me to get other people to understand my meaning. I spend a great deal trying to make sure that people understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it, mainly because I spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm going to say before I say it, which oftentimes leads to me not saying anything, which is also a problem. So I guess that's a disagree. There are people out there who try to poison my... very fitting for nearing Halloween, by the way. They're gonna put fucking razor blades in my caramel apples that I order through Zoom. That's a disagree. I'm constantly worried and fearful that something bad will happen. Depends, but a lot of times I often realize that it's... So I will sometimes... This is one thing I will admit, is that sometimes, especially when I'm, like, you know, a little down, little down about something negative happened, I will sometimes go in these little mental spirals where these very drawn out, bizarre little fantasy scenarios kind of play out like a just a made up movie. And sometimes I'll just let it play out for a little bit to keep my mind occupied, but I pretty much always come to realize that that's is very unlikely that those things will happen, or I will cope with the thought with being like, I don't want that to actually happen. That might be a good idea for a movie or a book or something. I'll keep that in mind for later. But I'm not just this constant paranoid wreck. I guess I'll leave it in neutral. I'm only worried about people poisoning my food if I was Russian. Oof. I go through phases where any kind of meal that I eat just tastes bland. I can't relate. But also, I eat kind of a lot of the same foods. I don't have a very diverse diet or a very healthy one. But that's never really happened. Others remark that it's hard for them to sense my mood. I have certain powers that others would not be able to understand. I have the power of God and autism on my side. That's a disagree. Others say that I laugh at things that are inappropriate or not funny. That's just called having a different sense of humor. God. I'll put that in agree. I pretend to be happy even though I'm not in order to avoid probing questions from others. Yeah, that happens. I think a lot of people do that. But, it's still something to take note. People do not believe me when I tell them about the things I see or hear. Well, considering that I don't really hallucinate anything, I'm going to put that as a disagree. People say that my eyes are dead or devoid of expression. I've never gotten that comment. Times in my life where I miss school or work because I feel it's overwhelmingly important that I be to myself. That has almost never happened. There have been, I remember when I was still in public school, I would very, very rarely have a quote unquote mental health day. But in reality, it was just being like, you know what? I just want a day off from school today. And I've been doing pretty well. So here's that. And work, I've hardly had any work to even say that. But when I did have work, I didn't really miss any work. So I guess I'll just put that at disagree because it's just been such a rare thing. You show moderate to severe tendencies of psychosis. It's gonna be one of those. I'm gonna get WebMD. No wait, is that it? What is the website that's infamous for like you put in that you have an ingrown toenail and it comes out that you have cancer? Is that WebMD? I think it's WebMD. I have been touched by someone or something even while I was completely alone. That has not happened. I have periods where I tell others I am terribly busy or sick when in reality all I'm doing is isolating myself at home. Uh, More often than not, I just don't say anything, so that'll just be a neutral. Yeah, WebMD, I figured. Words that are made up of similar sounding or rhyming sounds seem closely related to me, even though others say they are in fact not related. I I don't really even know what they're looking for there. Next, I repeatedly decline most invitations I get to social events. That's not psychosis. And even then, I can't super agree on that anymore because I've been realizing that I have been depriving myself. Well, I had deprived myself of a lot of social interaction that I badly needed. So I've been trying to be at least, if someone invites me to go somewhere, then it's like, well, that's pretty special. But I don't often, whatever, you know what I mean. Oh, is it? I do have an ingrown. Oh, thank you for the fun. Hi, Tio. I like how pretty much my entire chat is composed of mods. God, this one is long. I find it difficult to trace out the path of my own thoughts to understand how one thought in my mind leads to the next. I mean, sometimes my mind will go on a bunch of tangents, but I'm able to see how they connect together, at least vaguely. Like, I mean, I guess sometimes I'll go on like 10 tangents and I'm like, how did I go from thinking about this to suddenly thinking about this? But it's like, it's not, I don't even, whatever. Social situations make me anxious sometimes, but not. It's like, it's more complex than that. So I can't really disagree or agree. I go through bouts where I feel as though I've lost the ability to experience joy. I mean, there have been times where I've been particularly down, but I usually have been able to find at least one thing that's able to keep me from going completely at rock bottom, you know? I've had moments where I felt close to there, but I think if I really think about it now, I really honestly think that now that I'm, well out of public school and have grown up a bit, almost 20, I'm pretty sure I've already passed my rock bottom moment in my life. Agreeing on more than oh dear. Well, just keep in mind even the tests themselves admit it's not meant to be a professional diagnosis. Experience phases where okay. I experience phases where sexual intercourse or physical intimacy barely makes me feel anything. Well, the problem with that is that I'm a Catholic. So no, I'm kidding. I'm not Catholic. The problem with that is that I have not had intercourse. So I can't really answer this question. I'd like to, but the person that I would like to, you know, that is a thing for us to figure out together. And also, we can't quite see each other as often because of, COVID and whatnot. Weary sweats. Imagine having intimacy. Ouch. I have several beliefs about reality and the nature of things that nobody else seems to believe in. I have some weird beliefs about that kind of stuff that I don't really talk about, but I'm almost positive that I am not the only person to house some of them. I don't think I really have any original ideas in that department. Maybe just the arrangement of those ideas is unique, just not the actual individual ideas themselves. So I guess I'll put that at disagree. People have said I speak in monotone. No. Fuck that. I find it difficult to express joy. No. I can be happy one minute and angry or scared the next. I guess. It doesn't happen that often. I'll put agree, why not? Almost always anticipating that something very bad will happen. Not like that. It's mostly like minor little things with me, but I'm pretty sure that's just called anxiety. So. Paper flat earther confirmed. I'm more of a cone earther myself. Actually, now I think about it, you see all this like you see these like I don't know if you call them paintings, just like people have made like photo edits of what the earth would look like if it was flat. And a lot of times the more realistic ones it'll show like you got the flat and then you have a whole like giant earth mountain, inverted earth mountain underneath that's holding everything together. That's technically a cone. Cube earther. Minecraft is right. Well, actually, if you really think about it, with Minecraft, that would just be infinite flat plane earther. Because I don't really think you could even classify Minecraft as being a cube. It's just it literally does not end. I know Notch at one point said something like the surface of Minecraft worlds or whatever 8 times the size of the Earth or some bullshit, but you know that plane just it doesn't end. You get to the far lands, it still doesn't end. It gets to the end of what your computer can process. But if we didn't have those limitations, I think it would just keep going forever. Anyway, next. I'm able to communicate with a person, spirit, or entity that no one else can see or hear. Can't relate. I'm not Catholic, I just said. Others are plotting against me. No. I go through phases where I isolate myself, not answering calls or replying to messages. I reply to people's messages, but I definitely isolate myself a lot, so I guess that'll be an agree. I get so afraid of things I feel as if to sit down or lean against them to avoid falling. That's not had that. I can't trust something you're seeing because I don't know if it's real or not. That's a disagree. I have... What? Be neat if eventually Minecraft world's wrapped around at the actual integer limit or something since there's a world border. That would be... That could be a cool, like, option. That should be an option you should be able to set in the world, is that... Or actually... That would be really cool, actually. Maybe, like, there's an option with world borders or whatever, where instead of having a world border, or maybe as something to go alongside the world border, is instead of having just like it generates forever, eventually it loops and like the coordinates, I guess, loop back on themselves somehow. I don't know how that would be handled, but I think that'd be really interesting. I have melded spiritually with the minds of very important people, including the American president. Yes, I. Yes. Donald Trump and I have the same mind. We are a hive mind. I don't know how it works, but it doesn't, so next. Others have been surprised or shocked by my unpredictable actions or responses to things. Can't really relate. Lose my train of thought when trying to contemplate something. That sometimes happens. My friends are planning some action behind my back. No. Imagine mind melding with Trump. Well, we'll get to the political tests later. There are times when it seems like I'm not feeling anything at all. Very rarely. I'll put that at disagree. So let's see what it says. Oh, okay, so it's one of these wheels. Hallucinations, delusions, disorganized speech. I very low in hallucinations. Obviously. Delusions. Suspicion is very low. Flat affect. I'm pretty sure it's affect in this case, and it's not like cause and effect kind of thing. I don't remember exactly what that means. Erratic behavior. Yike. What else is it? Do we really want to read these? Explanation of facet. We're gonna be all day if we have to read all of these as well. I think y'all can go on this site and read some of these things yourself. Zero sus. I will always win at Among Us. I am never sus. Actually, wait, no. No, this is saying I'm not suspicious. I'll always lose at Among Us. God damn it. Well, that was about what I expected. Next. Psychopathy test. Oh god, another one. This one, it's only 40. That's still long. So I guess we gotta pick up the pace here. I do not feel compelled to pay back a loan if I see a way I could get away with not doing so. Except I recognize that if I did try to do that, it might work in the short term, but I would probably get caught later, so that's not gonna work. I don't relate to that. I disagree with most of society's conventional values. Oh. Well, the problem is that is really broad. What part of society are we talking about? What side of the aisle are we on? Are we even on any side of the aisle? What culture are we in? That is way too broad. But I guess if I had to look at things as a whole, I can't really agree or disagree with that. I do not feel bad when I lie. That is definitely a disagree. I guess I'll put it there. My morality is different from that of most people. I'm gonna go with no. I think my morality is pretty in line with most normal people. I would those good old those good old fashioned values that we used to rely. Lucky there's a Family Guy. When I'm angry at someone, it's as if I have to keep hurting them until they. What the fuck? No! What? I would not feel upset if I saw a child being bullied in the street. No! Baby. Do not hurt the child. I'll just say this now. Because there's a chance that this theme might come up repeatedly, and I might as well say this now. What is the best way to put this? I would say that I love children in the same way that someone like Mr. Rogers loves children. And I have to add that second part in there, because just saying I love children, well, we all know what connotation that tends to have these days. But what I mean by the serious statement is, I think childhood is a very, very underappreciated part of life. It's a part that I think a lot of people ignore and don't. Like, oh, Mick, what? Well, anyway, I think childhood is largely ignored. I think children are very underappreciated and not, you know, not respected enough in society. I think probably the most common thing that happens is that there's just this entanglement of respect where you'll have these adults that surround children, and they have this mindset. The adults have this mindset towards the children, which is, if you don't respect me, I don't respect you. That's like a common phrase that people, especially like adults in authority, like a teacher, maybe someone's parent or whatever, would say. But what they tend to actually imply by that, they would never say it, they would never admit to it, but what they actually mean by that is, if you don't respect me, the adult, as a human being, if you don't respect me, the adult, as an authority, I will not respect you, the child, as a human being. And those are two different levels of respect, and they get conflated all the time. It especially happens with children. And what I want to do, like, maybe as part of a career, maybe just as a thing, which is, who is Mr. Rogers? You don't know about legendary's Mr. Rogers? Fred Rogers? He ran a show for a while called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's a very well-respected show. I guess, unfortunately, I only have vague memories of the show myself. But let's see here. Just give a brief snippet here. Maybe not. It might have been a mostly American and Canadian run show. I've seen abuse of power differences between adults and children. Yeah. Childhood is easily, like, probably one of the most important parts of a person's life, because that is where a person's mind is most influenced, and probably where the most, like, effective trauma occurs. I don't think it's too hard to see how, like, those early years are easily the absolute most important in a human being's development, and that you could pretty much trace nearly any problem that someone has back to something that happened in childhood, I think. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, sometimes shortened to Mr. Rogers, is an American half-hour educational children's TV series that was created and hosted by Fred Rogers. Debuted in Canada in 1962, moved back to the United States. blah 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 blah. The series is aimed primarily at preschool children ages 2 to 5, but it was labeled by PBS as appropriate for all ages. Bruce in Pittsburgh. Can you tell me more about what the show actually is? Longest running children's television series. Not seeing a whole lot in this opening about what the show is actually like. Okay, that is way too long, but I guess I will link the Wikipedia article as a starting point. You can look a little further into that. But the thing that I was trying to establish is I think children are very important and that they are not respected enough in society. And so when I have some sort of career or whatever, or perhaps just as a side project, I want to do something, make something like, I don't know, like could write a series of children's books or something that a child can pick up and read or interact with and take them away for a little bit, give them a little bit of escapism, give them some advice, give them a little bit of joy that they might otherwise not have, you know? And now Permatemp is going to cancel me, Mr. Paper's Neighborhood. But anyway, that was a really long tangent. I would not feel upset if I saw a child being bullied in the street. That was probably the hardest disagree I could ever put. I would slide that slider even further to the left if I could. Even beyond the super disagree. I tend to go on intimidating rants when I get angry. I would technically agree, except that I never actually say them out loud. A lot of times when I get really pissed at something, I will have a very long, drawn-out pseudo argument with, I don't know, whoever or whatever I'm angry with. Maybe it's myself, maybe it's someone else. Keep that to myself. And let that go on until I calm down a bit, and then I figure out what to do outside of that. I would love to hear me rant. Well, the problem is that would... I mean, I have considered making videos about me ranting about things with a little more cohesion than a live stream with no script. But that actually requires like research and writing and work, for a little bit. All right. See ya, Mike. Intimidating rants when I get angry. Now I'll put that as a neutral. Deception and lies are part of everyday life. Everyone does it all the time. I mean, it's a lot of white lies, I'll say that. A lot of white lies and very minor, a lot of, like, I think people lie on accident a lot. They accidentally deceive people, miscommunications and whatnot. It's not really even lying, it's just the angry video game ferret. But I think this question seems it's more talking about like more malicious lies almost. So I'm only inclined to give that one a neutral. I don't plan anything very far in advance. That is not true. Although I will say the things that I do plan in advance, I'll say that my priorities are not always very straight. So, where were you when all of the candy was eaten? Netherlands. What? I base my conclusions on my own experience, not on what society says I'm supposed to believe. I'd say true to that. I mean, there's some things that society says. There's a lot of things society says that I agree with, not because society said it, but because it makes sense to me. A lot of moral stuff. But I'm not just gonna believe something because a higher authority just said so, Paper is the Joker. I'm the Joker, baby. Most people who fight for so-called social justice are really motivated by a desire to exert power over others. Uh, I don't think I'm gonna leave this as a neutral instead of a disagree or an agree, only because I do believe a lot of times people who fight for social justice do not exactly purely do it for the social justice, but I don't think it's explicitly to exert power over other people. I think more often than not it is, oh, what is the best word for this? It's not like, not projection, because projection would imply that a lot of times it's them going after things that they already do, and that does happen a lot, but that's, I don't think that's the primary thing. I think I think a lot of times, more than anything, people use like fighting social justice or whatever as a coping mechanism. You know, Harley, I truly do believe that the children of Gotham are the future, Mister. Mr. Joker's neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah, my I think more often than not people you try to, I think this happens with a lot of things, is like they present it as they want to fight the good fight or whatever. That's how they present it, but in reality it's just they're using it as a distraction from a problem that they are personally having. And as obviously that's not what always happens, but can't say whitelist or black. Yeah, I guess that too. I think more often than not, people are don't, just to modify a common phrase, don't attribute to malice what could just as easily be attributed to being misguided. I think normally the phrase is don't attribute to malice what could more easily be attributed to stupidity or something, but I think more often it's just being misguided and not necessarily stupid. You know? Just a lot of misguided people being influenced by other misguided people, and it's just this giant feedback loop. Yeah. Well, we'll be here all day if we talk about that, and it'll probably come up in other tests. So let's see. Others have described me as irresponsible or unreliable. Um, I don't think anyone has explicitly said that to me, but I can agree that I have been irresponsible or unreliable. But this is specifically asking if others have. Doesn't happen very often, so I'll put that as disagree. Once again, I will say, I'll think a lot of times my priorities are not always in order. I do not feel guilty when I hurt or offend someone. Hurt someone, I would absolutely feel guilty. There's a lot of things, even minor things, where I feel pretty guilty about it. But offense is a different story, and that it really depends on the person. I am not afraid of offending people, but at the same time, I acknowledge that there are some things that I just can't say out loud because that would be suicide and just, a bit of a disruption to people's, you know people are having a good time, and then you just bleh, and it's like, what was the point of that? So I'll say that. What I mean, I guess the big thing for me is like, I'm a pretty free speech kind of guy, especially with comedy and entertainment. You have offended me because I am I don't even like saying that word. Makes me embarrassed to say that word. Hulking out. But yeah, I definitely would feel guilty if I hurt someone, especially if it's someone's close, especially if I hurt, you know. I would feel guilty for hurting someone's feelings for a genuine reason, but when it's for, you know, I think we can think, oh, we can all think of an example of something that would definitely be offensive to some kind of people, but really isn't that big of a deal. I'm not afraid of that kind of stuff. Let's move on here. Described as cold or uncaring. Absolutely not true. I'm almost always faking it when I say that I'm sorry. Jesus. No, but the problem with apologies, the thing that I have a problem with apologies is, there's always the connotation with saying sorry, with apologizing, is I'm sorry, I won't do this again. The second part is usually the implied part, the I won't do this again. But a lot of times, especially me, I will apologize for something, and then it will end up happening again. Not because I was not being genuine when I said sorry, but just because I can't just instantly I cannot instantly flip a switch and be a better person. It takes time. Sometimes it takes a lot of fuck ups, you know. I believe that I am always being genuine when I apologize for something. It's just that I can't always keep the implied promise. I don't always keep the implied promise of saying sorry. And it's really not I don't think I'm a malicious person. I don't do that kind of shit maliciously. It's just I fuck up a lot, you know? So, it's easy for me to break my promises. We were just talking about promises. Other than other than apologizing, I will say I mostly keep my promises. So I would say just a neutral because I don't really break a whole lot of promises in the first place. I will say though, actually, I'll put a disagree just because in those few times where I do, you know, it's it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. I don't know. When I get frustrated, I get angry very quickly. That happened a lot when I was younger. Very occasionally, very very rarely, still happens, but it's not that common. I guess I'll leave it in neutral. Deep down, I do not care what others are feeling. That's a massive disagree. There's a lot of times. I mean, it depends on what it is, but I care what other people are feeling. That's half the reason that I am very careful with my words, especially with these more contentious kind of things. So yes, I do care. I have made it a. I have tried to. I guess I think this is really only tangentially related, but something that I have tried to develop as a skill is, I think that I am able to very easily switch between being, casual and joking and chill, and then can instantly switch to being more serious and professional depending on the situation. I don't think what am I trying to say here? I think many people have that skill, but I don't think everyone has that skill. Those next and back buttons are fucked up design wise. Yeah, it does look a little yeah, why is the next button on the left and pointing this way and the back button's on the right? That's stupid. R/asshole design, I guess. Not care about. So yeah, that's a disagree. I am not as upset as others when someone dies. What? What? I mean, it's pretty vague. Obviously, I'm not going to be that upset when someone that I have absolutely no relation to at all, not even tangentially through another relative or a friend or whatever. I think that goes for most people. But obviously, I'm going to be upset if someone I know died or someone that I know, or if a friend or a family member of someone I know died, obviously I'm going to be upset. I have stolen things because I felt I deserved them. The fuck? No. I have enjoyed hurting someone physically, sexually, or emotionally. No. The very few. I have never. There have been really only two occasions I can think of, both in middle school, where I technically hurt someone, where I actively hurt someone physically, which was one was a kid was being really annoying, and I think I hit him, and I got in trouble for that, and that was a whole thing. And then earlier than that, there was I think it was some chick in one of in my grade that had been repeatedly on my ass, had been very verbally abusive and annoying. And so I think I don't know if I've ever told this story on stream, but I was in some science class, I can't remember, and I had just about had enough with this person. And she stood up from her chair, and the room was silent. She was not paying attention. She did not see me, and I had enough. So I pulled out her chair. Everyone saw me do it, except the teacher, because the teacher was not in the room at that moment. Everyone saw me do it. No one said anything. And she fell and hit her ass on the floor. I've had no sexual encounters, by the way, Permatin. The only things that I've had a sexual encounter with are socks. My own socks. Not socks that I wear anymore, old socks, but, you know. I didn't really need to say that. Why the hell did I say that? I don't enjoy hurting people. Let's go. I do not care if I offend others. I guess we kind of talked about that earlier. I'll put that in degree. Depends on the thing. But, you know. Yeah. And I wash my own socks. I don't think that's a big deal. When his secret has been revealed. I got worse secrets than that. But when I have lied to or deceived someone, it has most often been the other person's fault. What the fuck? No. It's always my fault. If I have to lie to get out of a problem, it was probably my fault. Just gotta freehand that. Listen, I do it because it keeps my room and my bed clean, alright? I would gladly tarnish a million socks if it meant not getting cum all over my room or my desk or my bed or myself. Alright? I think. Well, thank you, Permatemp, for giving an even worse possible answer. No, I'm kidding. That's what you're. No. No, shut the fuck up. Others say that I react to even everyday mishaps as if they were personal insults. I know people in my life who are like that, but I actively try to not be that. So that's a no. I do not relate to the notion of being happy for others. Absolutely not. I'm always happy for other people. That's going to be a hard no and a next. Brutally honest and speaking about sensitive topics. I don't see the need to spare people from the harsh realities. Well, I would agree, not fully agree. I'm not gonna use weasel words or lawyer speak or whatever the fuck you want to call it to sugarcoat my opinion about a topic, but at the same time, I'm not just going to be 100% blunt and an asshole about it. I like to treat contentious topics with respect, which includes not trying to weasel my way around it. What in the fuck is a weasel word? It's like, oh, hi Frost. Uh, a weasel word, I guess. It's like it's not exactly a buzzword. It's like it's not exactly a buzzword. It's not exactly a euphemism. Although oftentimes people do use buzzwords and euphemisms. It's like it's just weasel words is just things that people say to try to get around speaking the blunt truth about something. Like you ever hear people talking about beating around the bush about something. They're using weasel words when they're doing that. I don't know. It's a bit difficult to explain. I'm probably not the best person to explain it, but it's not that uncommon of a term. You could probably hell, I could look it up right now. What are weasel words? Wow, I typed a wheeze and the first thing that came up was words. Is Google reading my mic? Wait. A weasel word or anonymous authority is an informal term for words and phrases aimed at creating an impression that something specific and meaningful has been said when in fact only a vague or ambiguous claim has been communicated. And I will elaborate on that, especially when you are trying to get out of being honest about it. I like your weasel words, funny man. You said that twice. Also, hello, Fuffy Cart. Fuffy? Fluffy. I keep... Oh, excuse me. I keep forgetting letters. How does that happen? I'm usually brutally honest when speaking about... Oh, yeah. I just said that. Next. I have ideas about right and wrong that most people do not agree with. I would not agree with that. I feel no regret when I hurt someone. The exact opposite is true. Most of society's ideas about morality are a big scam. That is definitely not true. I think a lot of them are a product of basic survival. Don't forget the letter O. It's very important. I don't see the point of so-called acts of kindness or good deeds. My own happiness is more important. This is like one of those... This feels like one of those kind of like, would you return the shopping cart kind of questions? I absolutely see the point in doing acts of kindness, and that is, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better when I do good things for other people. That's all I need. You might not even have to do that. You might just see that someone needs a thing of kindness, and you just do it. Don't even think about it. You don't really even need a reason. The shopping cart alignment chart. Please tell me someone has actually made a shopping cart alignment chart. I'm beginning to think Paper is not a psychopath. But we'll see. Before I do anything, I carefully consider the possible consequences. Depends on what it is, but a lot of times I'd say so. Often to my detriment. I mislead people with false promises to get what I want. No. I've been in a lot of shouting matches with people. I have been in shouting matches. No. I can't even say that. I have shouted at people, but I can't say I have been in a shouting match with a whole lot of people, or at all, really. So, no. There's a bread alignment chart. Ugh. There always be suckers whose lot in life is to get ripped off by smart people. That's implying that they're inherently suckers. So that doesn't make any sense to me. That's a disagree. Most of the bad things that have happened to me have been other people's fault. That is not true. I have made a lot of bad decisions. I think there are things that have happened to me that are definitely not my fault, but not all of them. And really not most of them. Most of them have been my fault. They have been the product of bad decisions. I sometimes find myself admiring a really clever scam. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't scam someone, but someone finds a really clever way to rip someone off and I read about it, I'm like, oh, that's a fucking douche thing to do. That was smart. I won't do that, but that was smart. I don't usually volunteer to help others. Their qualms are their problems, not mine. I don't do, I do volunteer to help people, but I don't, I don't like do volunteer work, you know what I mean? Like that's really I'll just leave that neutral. I quickly lose interest in tasks I start. What does that have to do with psychopathy? I will say that's true though. I don't care whether something I do is illegal. That's not true. Finish. Just what I thought. Callousness. My callousness shot way up, probably just from those I don't care about offending people questions. This is what I was talking about. Or really, this is what the website was talking about. It's that you shouldn't like use it for a professional diagnosis of anything. I am chaotic neutral. What is this? Firefox automatically prevented this page from automatically redirecting to another page. Oh, it's this. I've seen this before. Yeah. I don't know anyone that uses a bread box. I have a drawer. There's a drawer in my kitchen that I store, or that we store our bread in their original packaging, but we don't have a bread box. And we just use bag clips or reusing the bag clip or whatever. The hell? I don't even know if you can sell that. The bread drawer. What is wrong with having just a drawer in your kitchen to put bread in? That doesn't see. I mean, it depends on the bread too. Like sometimes you put the bread in the bread drawer. Sometimes you put the bread in the fridge. It depends, you know. I guess we gotta find something different. Your dominant brain hemisphere. Ugh. So you know, thinking about this, I don't think doing all these is gonna be very interesting. We gotta find some more interesting ones. Like okay, I put like sometimes I'll go out and I'll buy like bagels and I'll put those in the fridge and then I toast them. But just like hard bread, that doesn't usually go in the fridge. Any like pretty much I don't know, it's weird. It's like anything that I would toast, I would put in the fridge, but anything that I wouldn't toast, I put in the bread drawer. I don't know. What is something more? We can't just keep doing these things. Morality. What the hell is this? The hoarding test? The hoarding test. Personal bread bank. You don't eat an entire package of bagels in one sitting. Oh yeah, there's a poo test. We're trying to go slightly in order here though still. 3 minute hoarding disorder. Okay, this one's not a slider. I feel like I cannot control my tendency to want to acquire things and not want to discard things. What? Oh, this is a slider. It's just set up as a multiple choice instead of a slider. The Biden Trump test. I didn't explicitly say last. I just said later because that one is I feel like I cannot control my tendency to want to acquire things and not want. What the fuck does this mean? I'm like having a mini stroke trying to read it. No, I don't really acquire things very often, so the furniture in my home is covered with the clutter of my possessions. I mean, my room was messy, but it's not like that. No. I collect free things or buy more things than I can realistically use. No. Okay, this one's stupid. Comes over and touches my things or asks if I shouldn't part with stuff. This, you know what? This is no. Y'all can take that on your own. That one's stupid. Now this one, however, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and come back. This one might be a little more interesting. Maybe. So the ones in this vein and the political vein might be a little more interesting. And I would encourage some of you to take them alongside me, maybe. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Okay. Perma, no, that's not how it works. That is 100% not how it works. I mean, I will say that some stereotypes definitely are based on reality, but I'm not. I don't think I'm gay. But maybe this will maybe one of these things will try to convince me different. Let's see. I identify as a man. Next. In the in the past 2 weeks, I have fantasized about with a man. No. Wanting to. No. No. Found myself aroused by a woman. That has happened often. And our body closes with a woman. Often. Be naked in the company of a woman. I'm only putting oftens on these because it says in the past 2 weeks. Alright. Found a woman attractive. Well, that one doesn't even need a 2 weeks on that one. Aroused by a man. I'll only put that as a minor. Entertain the fantasy of being in a lot with a man. No. Intercourse with a woman. Yes. Being along, absolutely. I mean, I have a girlfriend, so that does come up. Oh, this one, no. Nope, that was me adjusting my earbud. Nope. Found myself wanting to have real. I like how one of them it's fantasized about it and wanting real life sexual intercourse. No, I want to have VR intercourse with my girlfriend. Okay, that's where the found a man attractive. No, put it there. Wow. Not that. No, 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 perma. Nope. Nada. This is the weirdest political alignment chart I've ever seen. No, I'm kidding. That is very hetero. What? Damn. Midway by. That's fair enough. Let's see here. The poo test. Let's do the poo test. How the fuck is this gonna... What the fuck? Where is this? What do you mean, where is this? Are you talking about the website? I believe there... I think in the description of the stream I have a link to the website, but just in case, I will post the link again. Very curious about the hesitation. I think there's some tests that come later that might help answer those questions. But right now we have the poo pathology test. At each character in Winnie the Pooh could be linked to a definite psychiatric diagnosis. What the fuck? I am more curious about these professors and doctors here. Now, why is this the path they have gone down? Why Winnie the Pooh? Pooh pathology is my new band. Which Winnie the Pooh character do you resemble? Well, I don't think I'm gonna look like any of them, but I guess mentally resemble. We'll see. People sometimes tell me I give unrelated answers to their questions. I try to give related answers to people's questions, but sometimes if it's a more casual environment, I will meme and give them a joke answer. So that will be a minor disagree. I sometimes think that I have powers that others would not. This one is oddly familiar. I don't feel that things are under control unless I am in charge. Not really. I mean, there's a lot of time. I will say that there's a lot of times with like creative projects and like creative projects, community projects for whatever. I like to be the one running it, but for the most part, I would disagree with this. Is this like game theory before? 89.3% buy. That's a lot of buy. The top leftmost possible section. I am Ness from popular game Earthbound. Da 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 da. Duh. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Hold on. Wait, no, this is later in the song. There we go. What? Should I just put the Earthbound soundtrack on in the back? Nah. Nah. Leave it with no soundtrack. I am uncomfortable around strangers and sometimes fantasize that they will hurt me. The fuck? I mean, I have social anxiety, but I don't think that they're always gonna hurt me. I'm often told that I am a very correct and respected person. What? Nintendo didn't like that. Don't worry, I just gotta... All I gotta do is just play... I gotta play... play something from a commercial uploaded by Nintendo of America, and then a porn clip from Nintendo of Japan, and then it'll be fine. Right? That's how it works, right? I am 107.1% of a human. Damn. That's how much of the brain I've unlocked. No. I'm often told I'm a very correct and respected person. What? Can't wait. The racism test. I actually took that was one of the ones I took as a test run. That one was interesting. I think I will get to that one. I'll put a disagree on this one though. When things get too boring, I feel compelled to start adding a little color to the situation and get the party started. I mean, I feel like I have not been in this kind of situation enough, so that's just a neutral. When I'm alone, I sometimes feel as if there's something or someone watching me. I do. And when I am in my room just doing stuff, I do tend to look behind me at the door, but at the same time, I'm not alone at home most of the time. So, you know, there's a homophobia test. That one I did not take yet. We'll see how that goes. I'm almost never happy. I'm almost never happy. I can't think of anything that would make me happy. That's a disagree. Ah, hello, Zayden Tice? Mike Tyson? My thoughts jump from topic to topic with little consistency or control. This sounds like a... I would say the character's name, but it sounds a little too close to another word. So we'll just say the tiger character. Hello. Oh. You recognize me. You recognize me? Where do you recognize me from? Sarcasm and tone of voice are often lost on me. No, I love sarcasm. And I like to think that I'm good at reading people, but I don't like to try to pretend that I'm some kind of fucking Sherlock Holmes psychoanalyst. I have experience with other people that are like that, so I kind of want to avoid that kind of thinking. Oh, the Hammer videos, yeah. Thank you. I'm glad people are still watching those. If a good thing comes my way, I don't feel happy about it. I don't feel I deserve to be happy. Damn, bro. Thanks, Eeyore. I take care to spend my money... My money... I spend my money wisely. I spend my money wisely so that I can handle an unforeseen situation. I leave that at neutral only because I don't often spend money. I mean, I spend money when I, like, get food. When I get my groceries. But other kinds of... I don't really spend a whole lot of money. So, yeah, money wisely. I finish my work and chores before tending to hobbies and fun. That's a disagree. Unfortunately. I said before, my priorities are not always in the right place. That's definitely an example. My thoughts have a tendency to run in strange loops and dwell on weird themes, and I wish I could get rid of this. I only put that at a minor degree because it's not that I wish I would get rid of it. That's a little extreme. I just sometimes I wish I could have a little more control. That'd be nice. When I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them down. I isolate myself a lot anyway. I guess I'll put that as a minor degree. I was the one that got you into mapping. Really? I had no idea. That's really neat. I am smiling. You can't see it, but I am smiling. I'm quick to act on a whim, thinking little about the negative consequences. I mean, sometimes I do things that are impulsive, but there are a lot of times... I don't know, it's a mixture. Next. You and Crash. I am undersensitive to social cues and the prospect of danger. No. I frequently lose things, forgetting where I put my stuff. This sometimes happens. So much energy that can sometimes be exhausting or annoying to others. I actively try to not be annoying to other people. And yet I end up coming across as annoying in some ways anyway, so... I often think that interactions with other people are just more trouble than they're worth. Make sure my work is well planned and well structured. Not always. I mean, well, I would say I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so. I still have nightmares with the diffuse plugin. You can't find my social blade. Strange. Is it? I could have sworn that something with social blade is like you have to be big enough. Or maybe not. I don't know. I think I might have actually checked my own social blade at one point and completely forgot. I don't know. I talk more and think faster than others. I would say that I think faster than others, but I definitely do not talk as much. So that kind of balances out. I'm almost certain I met you through Darty. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that I met on from RGL and whatever were through Darty because of Mecharic. So nightmares of the war. You have to be at least 200 pounds. Ouch. Another reason I shouldn't be skinny. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's super weird. Just, you know, I'll even just as a brief tangent. What basically, how, just the whole reason that I know a lot of people through RGL in the first place, which was, I believe, not even 2019, maybe even like either really early 2019 or 2018. I think it was 2018. I made a TF2 Sixes team. I only put the TF2 in front of there for people that are not as familiar with TF2. 6v6, made a team. At one point, I was looking for a scout, and Mecharic came in as a scout for a little bit. He was not very good. Go figure. I was like, okay, this guy's keep in mind, this is 2018. No one knew about the stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I made a sixes team in 2018. I think it was on UGC. I think it was before I had anything to do with RGL. Yeah, it was 100% the Mecharic Cup, but I'll get to that. I met him. That is how I initially encountered Mecharic. And I had vaguely caught like a comment or two that he had said when the very brief time that he was on the team, that he had a YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, okay. And then a while later, I remembered, hey, that guy had a YouTube channel. And I looked at it. And I don't remember what happened with that, but I found his Discord through that. And then I started being semi whatever on there. And then he did the Mecharic Cups. And I met a bunch of people like Darty and Muddy, and a bunch of other people. Those happened. And then the stuff about him came out. I learned. Well, I won't delve into that, but that stuff about him came out. He faded off from the internet. My friendships or acquaintanceships with RGL people remained, and then that inevitably eventually led to me being on a Highlander team with fucking Lazy Purple. That's still wild that even happened. So Mecharic indirectly led me to meeting Lazy Purple. I don't know how that happened. Well, but more importantly, a bunch of people that I actually still keep in contact with. Anyways, that was a tangent. I warned you it'd be a tangent. That was a tangent. I'm always worried about one thing or the other. Not always. He got exposed for being a pedophile. You will not find collab with Lazy. No. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think. I feel like if I shot him a message if I shot him a message today, I don't think he'd respond to it. And also, we are drastically different sizes. What the hell would we even do? I already showed up briefly in his extras of me on, what was the video called again? I don't remember. Something to do with Demoman. Anyway, when I start feeling down, it's as if I keep sinking until I hit rock bottom. No, I'm not Eeyore. Shut the fuck up. Even when things are going fine for me, I am anxious that it won't last. Not really. I'm taking things too literally so that I often miss the intention behind what people are trying to say. No, sometimes it's usually more often that I read too deeply into what people are actually trying to say. The yeah, no. Consider was the team that had Lazy Purple on it. You were the pyro on there after Godfather got kicked out, and that also yes, and that was where the corn cob bomb got invented. And there's probably a lot of stuff here that is way out of context for people that aren't me and Muddy. But, well, I take things... Oh, wait, I already read that. I feel better about making big decisions if I get others to suggest a course of action, then follow that. That does happen. So, I'm constantly daydreaming. I would definitely agree with that. People say I say strange things. Well, I don't say a whole lot. In my mind, I'm sure they talk about me, but... I'll put that at a double disagree, but not a full disagree. Hello, Con Clan. My voice is getting shit. The thought of having no one in my corner to look out for me makes me seriously afraid. I think I would say maybe when I was younger, I had that attitude, not that verbatim, but possibly had that. But nowadays, I feel like if I did somehow get put in a situation where no one is in a corner to look out for me, that would probably push me to be to just flip and be like, well, fuck it, I'm on my own. Am I a tad quiet? Yeah, because my throat fucking hurts. It's probably because I have physically gotten quieter. I'll turn my volume up a little bit. I read that. Does it make me seriously afraid? No, not really. I frequently have problems staying with the task at hand. I guess. I mean, there's the one question the other test is like I abandon tasks quickly, but I don't know. I'll leave that in neutral. Sometimes people smile at me in the street and I don't really know why. I mean, I think that happens to everyone. No, I'm not sick. It's just I've been talking for 2 hours straight. Or 1 hour and 20 minutes straight. So, also, I need to post a pug announcement. Hold up. Got that out of the way. Smile. I don't really know why. I mean, but that's okay. Like, if someone just shoots you a smile, I'm not just gonna be like, "What the fuck are they doing? Why are they smiling at me like that?" I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, they smiled." That's it. Sometimes people just smile at each other. There's not a whole lot to read into there. I have been, I have been sad most of my life. Jesus Christ, no. Let's see. Okay. What is this? Poo, ADD. I don't really think I would not entirely agree with that. Christopher Robin is schizophrenia. What? I agree with the anxiety. I don't really agree with the other parts. I'm very surprised that the autism one is not as high. I'm surprised the autism one is not at like 80%. Possibly because there weren't enough questions, not enough data. I don't know. Eeyore's depression. That was a little disappointing. Who would have thought Christopher Robin was schizophrenic? Who would have thought? Let's see here. So we did this one earlier, the orientation test. How about this one? The gender test. What gender does it think I am? What is an HD? And why do I have 80? 40% schizophrenic. Did you know? Spiders. Okay. Oh my god, Dad. Doing. Hold on. Mark's Pizzeria. Mark. Please. No, I wanted the. Do I have to put meme after this? Fuck, man. Oh, there we go. There's one version of it. No, please, just let me see the image. I identify as Gmail? What? I'm so happy right now. Bay3 that's pregnant. Monday she'll do an autopsy to see if it's a girl or a female. Oh god. Anyway, the gender role test. This test classifies as your classifies? I can't even fucking speak. Okay, let's see. Helpful. I guess I'm helpful. Secretive. I have secrets, but I don't think I'm insincere or anything. I guess that's a neutral. Tender. I like my chicken tenders. Sentimental. I place sentimental value on things, yeah. Sincere. I would say I try to be sincere. Compassionate. Yeah, sure. I already had that whole Mr. Rogers thing earlier, so. Energetic. Meh. There's only one gender. It's nerf or nothing. These are just random words. You're right. This is fucking stupid. Let's see what it says, though. Ambitious. Sometimes. Affectionate. For my girlfriend and family. Yeah, sure. I know. What do you mean? How do I not know? It's not that. I'm trying to see what it's gonna. I'm trying to see what it thinks I am. Not what I think I am. Loves children. We already talked about that. Polite. I try to be polite. I'm not always polite, mainly for comedic effect. But when it is. I try to be polite. I mean, oh, what? Well, some people just don't know. I I take issue with the way I I personally have issues with the whole sex, gender, whatever discussion as a whole for various reasons, but I will say that there is definitely possible that there are it's definitely possible for a person to just not know what exactly they are, be wondering, be curious, questioning, that kind of thing. People attempting to use these tests to help them. I really doubt people actually use these tests to help them with that all that much. Again, these tests literally say that they are not meant to be like a professional diagnosis of anything. They're just dumb little tests. Pizza, agree or disagree? Yes. Imaginative. I would say I'm pretty imaginative. Dominant. I mean, it depends on what context you're talking about dominance, you know? I wouldn't say I'm completely subordinate to people, but I don't try to command. I like Greek Mark's pizza. I guess I'll put that as a neutral. Introverted, definitely. Avoids cursing, definitely not. Mild. I don't even know how to answer that one. Happy, sure. Defends own opinions, yes. I do take a stand. It's just sometimes hard for me to explain myself, but I do try to defend my opinions. Though I have not really had to do that very often because I don't talk about my opinions very often. Sarcasm is taken that when it turns into an emoji. Oh, I'm I'm sorry it did that to you. I don't even know what they mean by yielding, but I'm not going to bother looking it up. Next. Individualistic, absolutely. Forceful, no. Self-reliant, eh. Soothing, I try to be soothing. Likeable, I'd say I'm pretty likable. Shy, eh. I mean, I'm doing a fucking stream right now, so I can't exactly entirely agree with that. Devoted. Devoted to what? That's very not specific. Not afraid of risk. Disagree. Competitive. Sometimes. I mean, I don't compete where it's completely unnecessary to compete, but I do like myself healthy competition. Paper ASMR. Paper talks with a sore throat ASMR. Oh wait, that's the stream. I guess I'll put agree. Loyal. I'd say I'm pretty loyal. I have had one girlfriend my entire life, and I still have them as my girlfriend. So, that has not wavered. Is finding out what Friends character I am? No. Apparently apparently I'm figuring out this. Well, that's what this test is claiming. I've said this multiple times already. I've said it multiple times this stream and in the Discord that I have a girlfriend. Moody, not really. Analytical, sure. Jealous. Rarely ever jealous. Willing to take a stand, yes. Sympathetic, yes. Assertive, meh. Strong personality. They are not in the server. I've considered inviting them, but I'm not sure. I would more than like... I have another Discord that consists only of my IRL friends. I probably should invite them to that one. Not sure about the public one, though. The shopping cart alignment chart. Oh, damn. Can I... Okay, hold on. Fuck. I gotta put on this tab so y'all can see it. Why is this on Imgur? That's... Lawful good. Return to the store. Why the hell am I reading this out loud? Y'all can read. Why is returning to a corral neutral good? I thought that's what it was fucking for. Launched into a corral. Now that's what I'm talking about. Return to... What? Return to another store. What? What? True neutral, return to the poor. Return to nature. Unreturned but neatly stacked. Lawfully. What? Left in a parking space. You leave a shopping cart in a parking space? That's just being a dick. Yes, that's why it's neutral evil. That's just common everyday evil. Return to a culvert. You just throw... Well, you know, hold on. Well, we gotta find the one that's pure chaos. Hold up. God, I'm... Please tell me I can find the one I'm looking for. Please. This is the worst... Oh, that's not one I was looking for. This is... No, why is it so... This is... That's not nature, though. That's a fucking light pole. Oh, this is one of my favorite fucking images ever. Oh my god. It's not nature. A light pole is not part of nature. That is man-made. Anyway, strong personality? I don't know what exactly they mean. I'll put up neutral. Oh. What? Bruh. So, here's the thing. It literally just gave me a bunch of adjectives to agree or disagree with. What? That autopsy went well. No. No. I don't have the socks, Muddy. I don't have the socks. I can't be. I would need the special socks to be that. But again, like... I mean, again, the website does say. It's not an official diagnosis of anything. But this one, I would like. Are they really feminine traits, or are they just traits of being just a human being that's not a completely callous? What like I don't know. That's kind of dumb. Where's the racism test? Let's get nutty. I don't need the gender test. I don't need more gender tests. Psychopath, dark triad, Potter test. There's multiple of these. I'm a girl because I don't punch people. What? Just being a soft boy makes you feel. The Kinsey skill test, another gay. I'm not doing that. Already taken enough. Here, this is one of the ones that'll be very. I don't know why I opened that in a new tab. Let's just a research-based inventory for measuring racism. The kidney scale, yes. Even if you got the sex, I just god damn. That is a callback from earlier. Oh god, do I have to pee again? Come on. Hold up. Hold up. All right. Here. What? Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way. There is no way it actually picked up me in the bathroom. There's no way. This is an art animemes moment. Epic. What? Okay. But let's go. This one only has 20 questions, but I got a feeling this one's gonna take a little longer. God damn. Everyone disliked that. Fallout meme, Reddit moment. Anyway. Question 1. It is okay to assume non-whites live up to their racial stereotypes, whatever. Do I agree or disagree with that? Now, I said earlier in the stream, kind of as a joke, that most of the time stereotypes are based on reality. But just straight up assuming out of nowhere that someone is good at a thing because of how they look or whatever. I don't like I from what I remember, this is one of the ones I took before. What I don't know what exactly they mean by it is okay. That's very broad. They mean like is it offensive? I'm trying to figure out what exactly they're asking here. Travis download VOD, isolate paper pissing, amplify, play on loop. What the fuck? If this is talking about like you're walking down the street and you see a black guy and you're just like, oh hey, you must be good at basketball. That's I don't know about that one. Some of the questions are backwards. Oh, yeah, I gotta remember that. Do I agree? I'm gonna say I disagree. I don't think that is a very strangely worded question. The whole well part of the point of me doing these tests is A, so that I can fumble over them a little bit for comedy, and B, I almost said two, but B, so we could talk about it a little bit, you know, have a bit of a discussion. Because that would probably be far more productive than just taking these questions at face value and just trying to put yourself on a slider, you know? It is okay to make jokes about the food served in restaurants owned by what I oh, if you are like, yeah, that's not very good. I'd agree with that one, stream. Actually, let's go back. I'm putting disagree here mainly because I think really it's more I hate it when people just assume that someone as good is good at something in general. It's really not even a race thing. I feel like a lot of these, it's a lot easier to answer the question if you eliminate race from the problem. I mean, I guess that's defeating the point of answering these questions on a racism test, but still, it's like, you know, sometimes I feel like there might, yeah, word is difficult. Or go back to this one. Okay to make jokes made about restaurants but non-whites. It's a joke. They specifically say joke. I don't have a problem with making jokes. Now, there's a difference between something like, are these tests implying you can't be racist to whites? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's centered. It's definitely a test centered around a white person taking the test. Jokes can be offensive, but well, actually, let me let me stop you right there. Jokes are inherently offensive because that is part of a joke is always going to have, what the hell am I saying? There's always going to be the butt of the joke. A joke will always be offensive to someone. Maybe it's one person, maybe it's a group of people, maybe it's everyone. Maybe you say something so horrendously stupid as a joke that it offends everyone. But it's still a joke. It's comedy. You know? In order to tell a joke, something has to be the punchline. So every joke is inherently offensive. That is okay. That's just part of comedy. And really, like, this one is like, you're not even. Is this really even at the expense of the people? Or like the people who run the restaurant? Or the race or the ethnicity or whatever? It just seems more like it's at the expense of the. I don't know. Try our best not to use race or race stereotypes in a joke. I mean. Yeah. Yeah. There's some guy I watched a show about, and they're a comedian that jokes about tragedies the day they happen because he doesn't believe in too soon. I don't think there's only one comedian that believes in that. Why the chicken crossed the road is a literal suicide joke? Is that the origin of it? I can't remember. It's okay to ask non-whites if they know a friend, coworker, or classmate of yours who is of the same race as they are. Well, the thing about that, especially if you got rid of, if you just replaced the non-white part with just person, it's okay. Is it okay to ask a person if they know someone who's the same race as? I mean, I guess it depends. I guess it depends. I don't know. Let me think here. I think. I don't think it's too controversial to say that for the most part, people tend to form relationships with people that are the same race as them. And it goes for pretty much every race. That's just a thing humans do. So it might be a stupid question a lot of the time, like the situation they're presenting here, but it's not completely baseless. Just most of the time, probably a pretty stupid question. Nice job, you finished trig. You done it. There's some lines we just can't cross. I mean, you gotta admit, some people didn't cross it. We did it, Reddit. We did trig. Trig is no more. I'll put this one as a neutral. It is offensive to ask non-whites where they're really from. Sure. That is kind of a dick question to ask someone. I mean, if you were legitimately if you wanted to just genuinely with no like implied like you should go back to where you're from kind of attitude, if you just genuinely want to know where someone's from, that's not offensive. Might have to be a little careful with your approach. That's not really offensive. Unless you make it offensive. It makes it sound condescending. Yeah. Just remember, again, this test seems to be very assumes that a white person is taking it. I mean, I am white. I am very, very, very white, but just something to keep in mind. It is offensive to tell non-whites that they speak English so well. I guess. I mean, I really don't even know. I have not had enough experience with this particular kind of situation to really say. I don't really think minorities in the West were historically the top. What the fuck? Of course they were. We're talking about history. We're talking about this happened in the past. I'm not going to deny history. So, it is okay to portray minorities in commercials as being bad in English. I'd say that's a bit of a yikes. Yeah, sure. I mean, now if instead of commercial you had, say, an offensive comedy sketch, then maybe. But a commercial? You're trying to sell a product. You do this, the only thing you're selling is that you're a fucking moron. I don't know. It is okay to portray non-whites in commercials as acting keyword in commercials. Yeah, that's not okay. It's okay to assume that the kitchens in restaurants owned by non-whites are generally dirtier than Jesus. No? I don't think that's okay. Hugo's in. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think it's funny you mentioned that. I think a lot of times, actually, I think I've said this in private before. I think a lot of times people from like other countries that immigrate, whatever word, move to an English-speaking country and they learn English, a lot of times they end up being way better at English than the people that were born and raised in that country. Just because the people raised in that country, they absorb the language. They just they absorb the language. They learn it. They definitely learn the language, but they just really made a lot of absorbment. But the people that have to move there and have to learn the language, they learn the language. They pay more attention, yeah. You've seen the Japanese or the Japanese Chinese commercial? Can't remember. What? Wow. Do you think all Asians look the same? You think it's all the same? Determinate? No, I'm kidding. The commercial. I'll just say the foreign commercial. They wash a black guy and make him white. I have seen that commercial. I do not agree with that commercial, but I have seen it and I have laughed at it. Yeah, Hugo is definitely better at English than most people, I would say. Than most English speakers. Let me clarify. He is better at English than most English speakers. And it makes sense. Because if English is not your native language and you need to learn English, you are gonna fucking learn English. You're gonna end up having a little more knowledge of English. And it also, I mean, Hugo is also a writer, so that does play into it a little bit as well. But that's just one example. Dirty in Kitchens owned by whites. That's not. I don't agree with that. It's okay to portray non-white characters on TV shows as speaking poor and or heavily in TV. Well, once again, it's the whole. This is the comedy skit thing. I'm always gonna bring up the comedy element. If you're just like, if you just have a totally serious TV show or whatever, and you just pull out that character, well, even then it's a problem because, well, sometimes you need a character regardless of race. Sometimes you just need a character that speaks shit English to make the character work. So obviously I don't exactly condone doing it to make fun of people, but it's like, yeah, these questions are very broad, very general. It is offensive to suggest to non-whites that they look like celebrities who share their ethnicity. First, so I have two things about that. One, I'm not exactly sure how that would be offensive because you could do that same thing with literally anyone. Not just non-white. You could literally do that with anyone. And second, I feel like, well, I guess it depends on the celebrity, but that almost sounds like it would be, I feel like in a lot of cases that would be at least an attempt at a compliment. So I can't entirely see how I cannot exactly see that of being offensive. I look like Will Smith. Yep, I am Will Smith reincarnated. I am Jaden Smith 2, Electric Boogaloo. That is what I look like. No. It may sometimes be necessary. Okay, this one is a little trickier. Sometimes be necessary for Western governments to detain or investigate non-whites for actions that would not arouse suspicion if done by white people. Whoa, white person, you look like Jared. Oh, God. Oh, that would be a very unfortunate comparison. Very unfortunate. Bring me the broomstick of Little Caesar has a whole new meaning after what was revealed about Jared. People aren't even going to know which comedian I'm referencing there. Anyway. Oh, this one. Oh. Detain or investigate non-whites. Yeah, well, once again, I'm pretty sure this test is very white-centric. I'm pretty sure it specifically... It sounds like... I'm actually not sure what exactly it sounds like. The Windows 10. Sorry about that. I don't know why that just destroyed everything. I don't really know how to answer this one. I'm just going to go next. White people have a duty to educate themselves on the racist actions of their forebears. Or I could just let me propose an idea here. Just don't be racist. That's it. You don't need to learn the ins and outs of what your ancestors did to not be racist. So I'll put a disagree on that for now. It's legitimate for Western countries to impose stricter immigration restrictions on people. Not like countries that they do. Immigrants from white countries. No. Not really? I don't know. Especially now. Well, like, what? Like, hold on. Like, what the hell do they mean by a white country? What do they like? I don't. This test. It is okay to portray non-whites in Western movies in accordance with racial stereotypes. First of all, these examples. What? Bruh. First of all, this is a bruh. Second of all, this is an even bigger bruh. I didn't even know that was a stereotype. Yeah, 20's gonna. I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was too crazy. Well, once again, it goes back to that earlier one with the movies. It's like, if you're doing it just to make fun of them, that's kind of a dick move. But sometimes uh, you need a character. Sometimes you need a character that acts a certain way in order to make the character work. So, it depends. This is not a, pardon my language, it's not a black and white issue. Western history books should take care to stress the contributions of non-whites to Western civilization. Sure. It's part of history. Check live chat? What do you mean check live chat? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? I really don't know what I'm looking at. YouTube blocked your... I'm in live chat right now. I think YouTube straight up removed the difference between live chat and top chat. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just on the wrong page. It's offensive to ask non-whites if they can teach you sports. I might actually have to cut the stream short and pick it up another time. Get to some even weirder, like we could do it tomorrow, or maybe even yeah tomorrow probably. So I'll wrap it up with this one. It's offensive to ask non-whites if they can teach you sports that people of their race have traditionally been good at. What the fuck? Offensive teach you I don't even know a situation where I would ask anyone to teach me a sport. Still curious about the hesitation on that one question. I said it would come up again later because I was naive and thought that I would be able to do a lot more of these tests than I thought. So that is a question we'll have to answer in the next stream. Goes up to a black guy, can you teach me basketball? Like, who would even do that? Is that a thought that runs through people's minds? How often does that happen? I I can't even answer this one because it just racism in Western countries is mostly a thing of the past. Massive disagree, but not for the reasons people would think. Uh, and to be honest, given current events, I'm not exactly sure that needs much more elaboration than that. It's okay to assume that people mostly have friends that share their own ethnicity. I did talk about that earlier. It's kind of true. It doesn't matter what ethnicity it is or race. People tend to make friends with people that are like them. Doesn't matter what race you are, or ethnicity, or whatever. That's just kind of a thing human beings do. So, it is offensive to suggest that all people of the same non white ethnicity look alike. I mean, once again, this is something that could happen not just to non whites. Once again, another white centric question. And I say if you were just if you just blindly like all these people look the same or whatever, I guess I could see that as being offensive. But if it's just like it's not a it's not inherently offensive to not be able to tell someone apart. That's not the offensive part. I guess maybe the word suggest in here is trying to give that content. It's offensive to suggest that all people look not just you know what I mean? I'm canceled. Damn. God damn it. All white people look like Jared Fogle or Amy Schumer. What a dystopia that would be. I just hate the word offensive at this point. Yeah. I guess I don't know, I'll leave that as a neutral. Let's see what this says. Well, according to this test, apparently I am more racist than the population average. Who would have thought that a test a race-based test that leans in a particular direction and asks vague societal questions would label someone that questions the veracity of the test as a racist? Who would have thought? But I am 5 minutes overdue a thing that I was supposed to be doing. I kind of overbooked myself, or not overbooked. I double booked myself. I booked one thing, and then I was like, hey, I should do this stream. And then I completely underestimated how long it would take to take and talk about these tests. So this is definitely going to be a multi-part thing. I guess I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Maybe at the same time. I don't know exactly, but we'll see. I'm definitely not going to share my results of this test. You can always DM them to someone if you really want to. I'll say that. But yeah, I guess it's a bit of a disappointing cliffhanger, but I gotta run. So